We're watching some Mr. Beast drama stuff. New game, surely getting a new game plus. I love that. Please go follow Cookie. Cookie's awesome. I used to play Mario Party, Superstars with them, and we played a bit of Jamboree, I think, or we've tried to. We need to play soon. We need to schedule. Yeah, okay. So we still need to play. Yes, I have my dock and stuff. I need to set it back up. We need to figure out a time because I'm outside of tomorrow. Oh no, sorry, it's net. Okay, yeah, I mean, like I'm busy. I'm free most of this week.
For us and just play our
the next week.
And so that was what I was prepared to do, and I was ready for hardships. I mean, I have hardships in my own life. I've overcome a lot of hardships, and
that's fine.
So the first.
I thought I had something going on tomorrow where I'm supposed to be. Someone wants to interview me, but I can keep Friday free. I can keep Friday open.
Hotel conference room with no chairs. We're just sitting on the floor.
I can do an early stream too if need be.
And we hadn't eaten, and so we just sat there on the floor, no chairs, no nothing, for hours. And, yeah, it was not the best in terms of like being hosted or whatever, but I felt like that might have been part of.
At least this is about an hour long, and so another 2 hours, if not closer to 3.
Intentionally part of the vibe of
we're locked in tonight.
Like, okay, I'm here for it.
We still got Sarah Boone stuff to go through. We might not even finish up all of this. We might do Sarah Boone. I was waiting for Bean to get back so I could show the new Fresh and Fit stuff.
And so we transitioned from the hotel floor to Allegiant Stadium. Right. We did an orientation there, and they fed us our first tiny little meal. Oh my goodness, we could talk for hours just about like truly the food was austere, and even for me, but for some of these bigger guys, it was kind of ridiculous. But part of the game, maybe. And so there we were. It was quite an adventure. We had our first big challenge the first night, and it is where there were 5 teams that pulled these giant rocks weighing, I don't know, 10,000 pounds or something like that. We can check the footage of the games as there were.
10,000 pounds?
That was, I was on the green team. Because there's
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm still not home. I'm starting to go bonkers and need to make sure. Yeah, I'll be here.
Stories about how there was a team that...
I'll be here. Do not worry.
That was mostly women. And complaints about that. And it was very clear to me when I realized that how that game was going down that I needed to get that green vest. And so I got the green vest. And so I was one of the slower people there, one of the older people, but I did manage the green vest.
Yeah.
And so there I felt, very accomplished in having gotten through that first challenge.
Yeah, right on.
And so then we slept on the floor of Allegiant Stadium. By then, I think we went to sleep at about 6 a.m. So it was daylight, and they gave us sleeping masks.
Yeah, by all means.
So we could sleep in these sleeping bags on the floor of the stadium.
By all means, invite people, because I don't have people that own Jamboree. Most of the people that Cool. Perfect.
And I probably got a few hours of sleep. And then
you're awesome for that. Thank you.
That was the phase when there were a lot of people not getting their medications. I was definitely aware of people, firsthand in there.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I think that she's being a little bit exaggerative, but it's like, lady, you're like trying to like ledge valid claims with people.
Who were actively trying to get their medications and were not able to get them. Luckily for me, none of that impacted me. I don't take any medications.
By the way, I still have yet to see evidence of people being withheld medications. Just food for thought.
And I was fine. And so sleeping on the floor, it was not a big issue for me. And so I was still in really good spirits about all of it, still really enjoying just meeting people and discussing, just having that shared experience with people. And everything was good at that point.
So you got through the first round, and then was the next game the suitcase game?
Yeah, the briefcase game.
Briefcase game.
And so, and he actually sells those briefcases now. So you can buy those briefcases at Walmart. And so I do think that this briefcase game was partly a marketing. Yeah, I do think this briefcase game was partly a marketing tool as well. And so all the moms out there can buy their kids a briefcase. And let's think about that for a little bit as I tell this story. The briefcase game, there's surely now footage about it as all this comes out.
Yes, this is, yeah. She was supposedly a contestant on Beast Games. I don't even know if she appeared in it. I have no clue.
4 teams.
I don't fucking care.
400 people each.
400 people each, about. Okay.
Yeah, because there were approximately.
I just want to know the context. I want to see because I've seen this lady like schizo post So I'm curious on how she's going to describe this prior to Skits Up Us
1,600
on
contestants
her
at this
main
stage of the
channel.
game. And there was essentially a game board that had 400 briefcases in a grid pattern, and 50 of the briefcases had a sign in it that was red that said eliminated, and 350 said safe, and they were green. And so the trick was to get a green briefcase, and then you would move on to the next round.
So when you're looking at them, can you tell which ones are red or green?
So that is the entire game right there. They put a digital map up on the wall for maybe a minute before the game, and then they turned it off. And then the digital map would flash up on the wall, and you could see where the green ones and where the red ones were. And because what you would need to do is mentally map those briefcases, I was assessing where on that perimeter would I have the least competition. And because I was looking at, there were some groups of, big, fast guys. Do I want to go in their area, or how do I want to handle that? I knew I was probably stronger on the mental game than I knew I was totally weak on the speed. That's fine. Let the fast guys get like the closer cases. But I'm going to map 3, 4, 5.
I believe so. I have no clue. When it comes down to that, a lot of the Beast game stuff, I have no idea.
Cases down.
I just want to see a lady go schizo
I'll
for Christmas. That's all I want.
Where you're going to go, assuming like really fast, young contestants are going to go for the ones right up front, that you're mapping out the one that's a little further and you think that you have a shot at getting.
Yeah, I'm mapping deeper into the game.
I'm hoping to get to that before games with people.
Fine.
I wouldn't get them either. I have little legs. So you're all there, 400 people about to go run for these briefcases. And Jimmy, Mr. Beast, says, nope.
Yeah, I love crash outs.
What were the rules?
Big fan of them, watching them.
Ones I really remember. It was like no pushing or tripping, kicking. It was either 2 or all 3 of those things. Yeah. And the rule was we would line up around it, and on the word go, we would make a run for it. And whoever touched the briefcase first is the one who got it. And so some people looked like they tied. They would go back to the camera to see who touched it first. So there were some little rules like that. Yeah. But in terms of me and my injury, what I didn't appreciate is in this grid that there would essentially be cross traffic. This is a very important point. I was not able to view the game before my round. So
standing on $5 million, the grand prize of the most insane competition show you've ever seen. And competing for it are these 1,000 contestants. Are you all ready? Start the timer. With massive challenges. Welcome to the elimination train.
That has never been done on TV before.
The stakes have never been higher. If he misses, your entire team is gone.
I feel terrible. I let down my whole team.
Who is going to drop?
I'm in a literal insane asylum.
This challenge might be the most cutthroat thing I've ever done. There are Navy SEALs coming for you. And if they find you, you will be eliminated.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why you're here. Go!
But you guys can't see. Fuck. Okay. Damn it. Okay, we're rewatching this.
I am
Okay.
standing on $5 million. The grand
I need to
prize
see.
of
Pay
the
attention
most
anyway.
insane competition show you've ever seen. And competing for it are these 1,000 contestants. Are you all ready? Start the timer. With massive challenges. Welcome to the elimination train.
Oh, they did pull a truck. Interesting.
That has never been done on TV before.
The stakes have never been higher. If he misses, your entire team is gone.
I feel terrible. I let down my whole team.
Who is going to drop?
I'm in a literal insane asylum.
This challenge might be the most cutthroat thing I've ever done. There are Navy SEALs coming for you. And if they find you, you will be eliminated.
Oh my gosh.
They will. Never mind. I can't make that joke on Twitch.
You can feel the tension.
Y'all were both selfish. Why would you go against the team?
My heart is broken into pieces right now. I don't trust anyone. I'm here for myself and my family.
Everything is on the line.
The mind games have begun. I am sitting on $5 million in cash and competing for it. Open the gates! Are these 2,000 contestants?
Okay, I think this is a video that shows.
It's just the start of something.
Because one of these trailers shows the games that she's claiming to. One of these streamers. I guess. I don't know. He's been considered a wild one, doing some wild shit. I just want, like, you know, I'm sitting while we're here.
1,000 people are about to battle in a series of trials for a spot in my 10-episode.
That's it. That's the briefcase one right there.
People are about to battle in a series of trials.
You're telling me you didn't know that there would be cross traffic?
For a spot in my 10-episode Prime Video series called Beast Games. Ladies and gentlemen, look to your left and look to your right. 1,000 of you will be eliminated by the end of this video. But for the other half of you,
Okay, so the single file lines here for the tug of war thing. Okay, so here's what she's referring to. You know what? That'd be primo entertainment, if you ask me.
border, come on.
Which is funny because the lady that we're like, this lady, she her channel name is Eat Like a Bear. So this is the game that she's referring to, by the way, just so we're all on the same page here. Yeah.
When people watch the YouTube video, they are going to see the camera view, like the overhead cameras, and they're going to have a really good view of what happened. And they're going to say, wow, how did Amanda not imagine that there wouldn't be cross traffic or whatever else?
I know, but that doesn't, let's not have that take away from how crazy this lady's going to be. Just trust me on it, okay? We'll get there. We just need to, I like to get the prior context. You guys know this.
Well, yeah, it's very obvious when you're looking from above what is about to happen. And in fact, that was the whole point of that article that came out of Las Vegas in September, the NBC affiliate. That article was about.
We just got to wait for the hands to show.
Yeah, and they were horrified at what they were seeing.
Yes. I think that it's just awful that anybody's viewpoint is to blame
Because we have yet to see any
and
evidence
not
for
blame
any of these
game
claims.
controllers, the people who are
Not to say that they are not real, but like the claims that Rosanna has made at the beginning of this has not been proven or had any evidence shown in the sake of this so far.
creating the games, executing the games, producing the games, running the games.
So,
It's
keep
their
that in mind.
responsibility to keep people safe, and especially not as much enforcement as they should have. And one of the contestants who I talked to said that she witnessed a male fully tackle a female, full body contact tackler knocked her out. And he was allowed to move on to the next round.
I am so horrified because I've heard that story too.
Yeah.
And it only occurs to me right now that they may be talking about me because this is what happened. And it's only being on the couch all these weeks and really
Interesting. Okay. So now we need to pay attention to her claims.
like processing all this that makes me even realize this. So, because what happened is I was there and I'm behind
Now we
some
do.
tall, fast guys. You know, he says go, and I'm just running my heart out. You know, and I'm ready. I have it mentally mapped, and so I'm running, and I never saw it coming because what happened was. Just a few aisles down was this center corridor. Well, apparently what someone else decided to do was to run down and then cut in.
Run and cut, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just running my heart out. And when I just feel the, and so I mean, it's just so shocking. And I remember that, like just my whole right side. And
You just felt that blow.
I felt the blow. And then I remember just, I'm on the floor and realizing I could be trampled. And so in my like strong survival instinct, luckily, I scrambled up.
It's okay. This is, well, keep in mind that Rosanna has a bone to pick specifically with Mr. Beast. Like, I don't know who's familiar with this, but I'm not insanely familiar. I just know that Rosanna has consistently been on this, like, what seems like, at least in my observation, it seemed like a crusade to, like, bring Mr. Beast down. This whole, like, empire. When at the end of the day, a lot of this, from what I've been told, keep in mind, this is just what I've been told, that she appeared in like a Beast video game. Yes, she actually, it's funny you mentioned Dogpack. I'm almost certain that she worked with Dogpack, her and some other people at one point, and has been like dragged down with them. Like, and as she should, because I'm almost certain that she has like sided with them, given Dogpack information that probably isn't true. Things like that. Like she has a grudge with Mr. Beast. I cannot express that enough.
And I was able to get back on my feet.
That's like the whole point of her doing this. Like there's really not anything for Rosanna to gain if you remove the grudge. There's literally nothing for her to gain out of exposing Mr. Beast, other than like potentially like damaging Mr. Beast's name from boosting hers.
And then just I imagine that, you know, if we could see the footage, I'd kind of like to see the footage.
I would love for them to release all the raw footage.
We need the raw footage. In fact, in the 2-hour video that I have on my channel, I say at the end that Amazon needs to do the documentary and that you need to be the producer. So that's in there.
No. Stop. What? No.
Love to do that documentary, Amazon. If you ever have a change of heart and would like to work with people who actually care about people.
Oh, that felt weird. If you have a change of heart, Amazon, they're a fucking company. They're a massive company, first of all. So they're not, no, the answer is no, they're not having a change of heart. Second of all, like that's very weird to say. It feels very weird.
You let me know.
So yeah, so it would be interesting to see it, but I don't know if you would see those cartoon like stars going around my head, you know, on the footage, because it was one of those moments of like,
gosh.
And so I kind of stumble into the aisle.
Was it a guy?
Okay.
Do you even know? Because you just got blasted. What happened?
I know his face, and I will tell you this because this is not actually in the 2-hour video.
Oh, he knows the person that hit her face, but you know, claims that she got hit from the side and then blacked out suddenly.
I am certain it was a guy, and I will tell. I'll tell you why. I'm certain it was a guy.
Yeah.
So I kind of stumbled to a case because at that point it all happened so quickly. Everyone's at a case, and so
chaos. It's just chaos unleashed.
Yeah. So I'm going down this aisle, and then I see a case, you know, like over there, and it's just this one lone case, and I know it's a red one. And so I was stunned, and you know, I felt sick. Like I didn't imagine my end was coming so quickly. Now the thing is, I'm not a sore loser, any of that. I'm like, you know what? If this is the way it ends, so be it.
That was also a wild cut.
Yeah. So they even have
that they just made
that I gave there on the floor of that after being eliminated.
While you have a concussion.
Oh, Mama Bear gave a speech. This lady has really bad main character syndrome. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Because I'm almost certain I didn't see her. Like we don't see her in any of it. I didn't see her in the trailer or the videos we watched.
She looked fine. Well, I'm sure I was in adrenaline or whatever else. They did.
Adrenaline, dazed and confused. I mean,
well, and the reality is they had many people watching
those are two different things, by the way.
Cameras, and they had me mic'd. The story producers were watching the mic'd contestants in particular, I think. And I told Carl Jacobs, hey, I just got knocked down. Check the tapes, because I was so much in my game that I said, what if?
Of course.
I got knocked down, what if I touched the case before that guy did? And he should be eliminated instead of me. And so I told Carl.
I'm sorry. This doesn't make sense. This already feels like a disgruntled contestant. Talking about how she got into it was more than she expected. A physical thing, and because she's older, an older woman, that she, you know, had some disadvantages, and those disadvantages, she felt like she got screwed. That's what it feels like.
No contact. He should have not pushed or kicked you. That should not have been allowed. That guy should have been eliminated.
He should have been eliminated. So I told Carl Jacobs,
check the tapes.
He said, oh yeah, we'll check the tapes. Well, he never came back to me. And so when they checked the tapes to see if I touched the briefcase first, they, I think, would have noticed that I got kicked in the head. And so how many people actually knew? And apparently, if I am the person behind the story of someone getting full on tackled, how many people actually knew that I got kicked in the head? Now,
I'm sorry. There's cameras all over, covering almost every square inch. You're telling me that, like, more than at this point, because of the crew watching and everything, you're telling me that more than one person saw you get kicked and just decided not to say anything. That they just erased the footage and was like, yeah, that's good. It's not impossible. Don't get me wrong. It's not saying that's impossible, but that does not, the odds do not seem very high.
I didn't even know I was kicked in the head because, as an important point, I apparently did black out. So I remember the collision, like
You don't. What is it? Do you remember getting kicked in the head and getting your concussion? Do you remember who it was? Like we have not gotten a straight, actual, consistent story from this lady. By the way, 23-minute, we're like halfway through, and she has yet to give an actual consistent story of what happened that lined up with the previous things that she has said has happened.
And I remember being on the floor, and I know I scrambled up, and I know I remembered that there were feet at my head, and that is where that's when I'm like, better get the heck up. And so I did not know I was kicked. I didn't. They did an exit interview with me. Would you be back? Would you come back
Wait, but you just said that you knew you got kicked.
to a Mr. Beast production? I'm like, yes,
You know who kicked you. You're like almost certain you know who kicked you,
of course.
right?
I am
Dazed and confused and have a concussion.
well, yes, all of that, but also, I wasn't there thinking I was winning $5 million. I was there for the story, and
There it is. There it is. There it is. I was there for the story. I wasn't there to win. No. You wanted your cake and ate it to eat it too. You got neither cake. You got no cake, and now you're sad.
so I'm, not a sore loser or whatever else. I just
You're the only person we've seen so far. By the way, she's the only person that has reported having any issues on such a public scale.
okay. Let me give my speech. So, and yeah, I'd come back. Well, all of that just shows at that time I didn't appreciate what had just happened to me, and it really did take those weeks on the couch and hearing the stories that came off of your platform, that came from the New York Times, and then some of the stories that came from the Dog Pack 404 expose, particularly the second one, that showed some of the organizational issues that Mr. Beast was having, that made me realize this was all part of a larger package, I suspect, and it made it more important to me to try to impact change in some way, to at least for me to do the thing that I felt was right, and let the chips fall where they may.
I really relate to exit interviews because I've been on a reality show where after I was eliminated, we did an exit interview, and I said very kind things in the moment. And I think that that is very normal. And also, I don't want to say aren't in the right state of mind, but I think what's really important for people watching is to understand that you haven't had the time to process what just happened, because it's moving so fast. And it's so extreme and it's wild and it's chaotic that, especially for me, who's a slow processor, I didn't have enough time when I went on a reality show to even process. So one of the things that Mr. Beast production team said, they made a big point of it, is that they were going to review footage and they were going to go over contestants who were unfairly treated and bring back contestants that shouldn't have been eliminated. Did they ever reach out to you?
No, they didn't. And I did hear that too from them, that I think they sent out an email to contestants saying that basic thing, that they were reviewing all the footage. And so now I was so injured at that point, I would not have actually been able to attend the Toronto games. But I was really expecting to be invited because I was wronged. And I expected also to hear what they were doing about the person who kicked me, because they could position it as an accident, which I think would be somewhat fair. But in fact, they never have had any kind of conversation with me at all about this. And I was not invited back. Again, I could not have attended it. I had a severe concussion.
Right.
Yeah. But I want to say this, that there were other injuries at Beast Games. I know personally of other people who were injured.
You didn't get invited back because you didn't win. You didn't create good enough content to be a reoccurring character. Lady, you're in a fucking Mr. Beast video. This isn't your big second come up. By the way, this woman has built somewhat of a following behind her losing a bunch of weight and being older. Oh.
And I suspect that many of them will not be telling their stories. And the reason is that we are speaking, this is a delicate situation. It's delicate, it's controversial, there are legal issues, and I realized that I was at this fork in the road. I could speak out and potentially reduce the chances of future injuries. The risk of that is there's a legal risk. And frankly, any lawyer, which by the way, I don't have a lawyer, because I suspect my lawyers would say, don't come do an interview, because lawyers are really good at keeping you from, getting sued into the gutter, and that would be their purpose. I have been poor multiple times in my life. I'm currently fairly poor just from this whole circumstance, and the gutter doesn't scare me. I can survive in the gutter for a very long time. What scares me more is 6-12 months from now, some major injury happens, and I hadn't said anything.
What you're saying really resonates with me because I've talked to over 200 contestants from Beast Games and almost about 50 employees and former employees of Mr. Beast. And they said the same thing, that the sets and the shoots were dangerous.
And the issue here is there's no oversight. And so all that a future contestant can really count on, or the information that I had was, for instance, there was a Time magazine piece in February where set safety was brought up, but then the Mr. Beast organization responded with,
That's a lot of people to
we work
interview.
on that all the time. And then they have videos like the one with sometime in the last year with Mac and his greatest fears video, and he ends up in the lake, diving down in the lake, and Mr. Beast says, oh, if you were concerned about his safety, just know that we have like 12 divers down there and they were ready to rescue him if he needed to be rescued. And so those were some of the signals that I heard as a potential contestant, and I in fact signed a liability waiver that yes, I could risk death, but I signed that assuming that they actually did tend to set safety.
I went in there, but I didn't expect I would have to maybe die for a Mr. Beast video.
And that there were a dozen divers or whatever the detail was, in the Mac video, and that may or may not be true. I have no idea, but there wasn't that level of care in the Beast game set. I would think a dozen people saw the kick, and I had 0 exit medical care.
It's completely unacceptable.
So the circumstance of the kick itself is unacceptable. I would say to them, I need to speak to a producer, because they're trying to tell them, like, I just got knocked down. I need to speak to a producer.
Yeah,
Each one I was saying,
knocked down.
yeah, I was saying to them, I got knocked down. I need to, and they were saying, oh no, we don't know a producer. But the point is, I told many people that I had just gotten knocked down.
Right.
Now, to be clear, I didn't ask where the nurse was.
And he even told Carl, which is like
Yeah, right.
Mr. Beast's one of his inner crew members. They're a very close, tight team.
That's correct, and I have 2 selfies with Carl that in my 2-hour-long video that everyone should watch. If you don't watch it all, you can go to the very end and see the selfies, including 2 with Carl Jacobs.
So one of the things that bothers me is when some people say, well, you were free to leave at any time. So do you have any thoughts about that?
Absolutely. And that is really the essence of what I took to the Las Vegas Police Department as well. And by the way, everyone, Ro, welcome to my TED Talk. Seriously, I gave an actual TED Talk.
No, you did. Oh my gosh, you did.
On this topic about a decade ago.
Dude, she's acting like Jimmy was like, had his staff with assault rifles pointing guns down toward, like, from the fucking stands. He had like snipers posted up, all like keeping an eye on every contestant. If they said that they wanted to leave, they'd be fucking executed. That's what it sounds like, dude. I didn't think they said that we could leave at any point, but I really couldn't. And it's like, lady, it's not actually Squid Games. You're not actually going to die. The liability thing is literally in case something does happen like what you're saying happened. That's on you. You signed the liability waiver. That's on you, lady. That's on you. You are a grown lady. You are not going to die. They cannot force people to do that.
And it is about the concept of free choice. And so, but let me first back up before we talk about the TED Talk.
Like, you go do the game now. Do it now, or you're not going to see your family again here, Susan. Like, yeah. Literally, a random heart attack, things like that. Because people, guess what? People are going to be dishonest sometimes, and they're like filling things out and like shit like that. So like, yeah, they're doing the liability to cover your ass. Guess what? You don't have to sign it. That probably means that you're not going to be in it. Hey, that's your decision. That's a risk that you as an adult woman are willing to make. Yes, you can have an emergency. Yes, see, exactly. There's small things that is what that is for. Not so that Jimmy can like have people get drop kicked in the fucking head and he can sweep it under the rug. No, it's literally to cover in case something very small and like obscure happens, but someone actually gets severely hurt from it. By the way, she has posted long form videos since that. By the way, I'm going to pull this up.
Just reemphasize that I did not have the information that other people had about the danger of the game board. Right. So production assistant.
She posted an edited together 2-hour video talking about how she was kicked in the head at Beast Games. Yes, exactly. See, yeah, I'm glad that there are fucking at least relatively smart people in my fucking chat that understand how stupid this sounds.
We were not allowed to go into the bleachers to view it. We viewed the game from the floor of Allegiant Stadium. Right. And I'm 5'2", and I don't know, a few rows behind people. So it's when you're viewing between the shoulders of people and you see a tiny slice of the game.
Dude, this lady. Okay, I'm gonna just shatter the fucking glass wall here. I'm gonna shatter the mirror. or the one-way mirror or whatever. Fucking okay. This lady was fat. She was considered overweight. She lost a bunch of weight, I think like 100 pounds or something. She lost a substantial amount of weight, and people were like, oh my, so many. There was at least enough people that were like, oh my God, that's so awesome. How'd you do it? And I asked her, she was like, you know what? I wonder if people probably do want to see what I did. And then like has literally made that her entire identity online. For 8 months ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 13 parts. The year I got skinny, part up to 13.